Hello friends, this particular session is to understand visualization using R programming. Let us try to understand what is the background of R programming. So R is a programming language and software environment. This is for statistical analysis, graphics representation and reporting. Specifically R is used most probably in business analytics or the areas where visualizations are supposed to be created for making the decisions in any organization. So there are few basics of R programming which are mentioned over here. This particular PDF file, it will be uploaded on Moodle server of A.P.Shah. So there you can go through the background of this one. So this is a GPU license, a GNU GPL license. And there are some features of R. This includes conditional statements or loops or user-defined recursive functions, as well as it has storage facilities with data handling. This is used for specifically calculation of arrays, lists, vectors, and matrices. And most importantly, it is used for data analytics. We will go to the next point, that is environment setup. So if you are running this command sudo apt-get install in Ubuntu rbase, so this will download R programming, which I have already created this environment. And if you are running this command R, so in that case you can get the R programming prompt. So here you can find 3.4.4 is the version of R which is available on my machine. And without spending time, let us go to the basic syntax. So we can execute the commands on this particular prompt, as well as we can execute the commands with files also. So we have given this particular string hello world to my string. So we want to print this string. If you are running the command print my string, so here you can find hello world has been printed. So this is how you can write the codes on the prompt of R. This is one methodology. But one more methodology is there. It is by writing R script file. So we can write a separate R script file and we can save that file with extension .r. So as it has been mentioned here, test.r. So you can find I have written this particular file, and right now I will keep this file empty. And let us try by writing the code in this particular file. Suppose this is the same code which we have written on the prompt. If we are writing that code inside a file, that is test.r, and I will come out of this particular R prompt, and this file has been stored in my home directory. Suppose I am running this particular command, that is R script test.r. So if I am running this command, you will get the output that it is hello world. So it is this much simple to write our first program in R. Let us try to understand how exactly program is executed. If you are running the command R script test.r, file name.r, it will execute your script which has been written in a file. Let us go to the next point. There are some R data types. So these are the data types which are available in R, which are mentioned over here, and we are going to cover these data types. The first one is vectors, second one is lists, third one is matrices, fourth one is arrays, fifth one is factors, and sixth one is data frames. So we'll focus on these 6 data types. Let us go to the vectors. So when you want to create a vector with more than one element, you should use function, this is C, which means to combine the elements into a vector. So C stands for combining the elements. Let us write this particular code and copy this code in our script. So if you are observing, there is a variable which has been defined, apple, and we are combining 3 colors inside that variable. This particular variable will be called as a vector here, and then we are printing that particular vector, as well as we are printing the class. So let us see what exactly output which will be generated here. So if you are observing, okay, I didn't save the file. Let us save the file, and we'll find that these 3 colors are printed, as well as the class of that vector is character, because the characters are present in that vector. So this is the first data type, that is vector. The second data type is a list. So list is an R object which can contain many different types of elements inside it. This can be vectors, this can be functions, and even a list. Okay, so list can contain list inside it. So here there is an example where a list is available, and inside that there is a combination, that is a combined vector, as well as there is a single float value, as well as there is a trigonometric function. So these three values, these three parameters are part of one list, and they are redirected to list 1. So let us execute this code. So we can find here these three values should be printed. So this is a vector, a float value, and a trigonometric function. Let us run this code. So you can find 253, this is a vector, 21.3 is a float value, and a trigonometric function's output has been generated by our R script. So this is how lists data type work inside R programming. Now there is one more data type, that is matrices. So this is similar to the matrix operations in the mathematics which we have covered. So this is a two-dimensional rectangular data set. It can be created using a vector input to the matrix function. So if you are observing, vector is a data type which is used most probably everywhere in R programming. So if you are going here, we are getting M is a matrix, and there is a vector which has been provided with 6 values. Number of rows are 2 and number of columns are 3. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix, and the arrangement by row has been kept with a flag value true. So we will copy this content and we'll paste in a file. So let us see how exactly it prints the matrix as a data type. If you are running this script, you are finding that 2 by 3 matrix has been printed. So this is a method how matrices can be identified in R programming. There is one more data type, that is arrays. Now while matrices are confined to 2 dimensions, arrays can be a number of any dimensions. So it can be 3 or 4 dimensions. The array function takes dim attribute which creates the required number of dimensions. Okay, so dim stands for dimensions. Let us create an array with some vector. So if you are observing here, there is a function array. Inside that there is one vector, green and yellow, and the dimension is of this vector 3 by 3 by 2. So this is a 3 dimensional, because 3 rows, 3 columns, and multiplied by 2. So this will include total 18 elements inside this particular array. So, and this has been redirected to A. We'll copy this code and I will paste it here. So if we are running this code, you can find there are 9 elements which are available here with green, yellow. So you will find consecutive elements green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow are available everywhere, and this is one 3 by 3 matrix, and this is one 3 by 3 matrix. So this is how arrays are used along with the matrices. So in this particular code, if you are observing, we have used vector, as well as we have used matrices, as well as we have used arrays. So these 3 data types we have used in this particular example. There is one more data type, that is factors. So factors are the R objects which are created using a vector. So this will store vector along with the distinct values of the elements in the vector as labels, and labels are always character irrespective of whether it is numeric or character or boolean. So it can be any type. So labels can be given with any value, and they are useful specifically in the statistical modeling. Let us see the example. Factor is a function which is used, and n levels function gives the number of levels. Okay, so here you can find a code which I am going to highlight. We are creating a vector. Its name is apple_colors, and these values, few values which are given over here. So how many values are there? Approximately 7 values are given over here. Okay, and we are going to create a factor. So factor for apple_colors, and we are giving the name factor_apple, and then we are printing the factor_apple, as well as we are printing n levels for factor_apple. So n levels will identify how many colors are present over here. So 1, 2, and 3 colors are there, and factor underscore apple will print that factor. So let us copy this code and we will paste it inside our file, and let me clear this screen and we'll run the R script once again. If you are observing, all the 7 values which are present in our vector, they are printed, and the levels are written over here. That means the distinct elements which are available in these 7 values, they are written, and n levels has been printed as 3 because here 3 colors are there. So this is specifically used in a as it has been mentioned over here, this is used in the statistical identification, or to identify the distinct values. Okay, if you want to know how many distinct users are there inside a list of all the users who are subscribing some channel or something, so in that case we need to identify how many distinct users, or from a specific area how many distinct users are there. So that can be identified by making use of vectors. So these are the data types which are available in R programming. In the next section we will try to understand few more aspects of R programming.